I'm Kayla. I'm 28.
Come on, let's do it. Yeah, now. Give her, put her on the video. Hey, one love. Yeah, one heart. Let me tell them, get together and feel alright. One love,
Yep,
all
this
about
is
one
me.
love.
Enjoying my
One
life,
heart.
going on
Come on, let's
vacations,
get
living all
together and
changes.
feel all. Big shade, yeah.
This is me 2 weeks later. I know you're probably like, what? You were just in Jamaica having a good time. Yeah, no. This isn't something that just started happening weeks before. This is something that was going on months, even years before. But I had no clue. So let me take you back so you can get to know who Kayla is from the beginning. These are my parents, Robert and Regina, married in 1989. A few years later, the star was born. I was born October 4th, 1991 at 8:45 p.m. This is my family. So I have two brothers, and then I have a sister. Very typical. Yes, guys, I've been pigeon-toed my whole life. I used to be what you consider to be a daddy's girl, the person I would talk to the most. I could say anything, he not look at me crazy, just express myself. He was very smart. Our relationship never stayed the same because my dad was on drugs. My child was pretty, crazy. Yeah. It was my mom, I can say, my hero. She made everything seem normal, to say the least. You would never ever know what was going on. It never even caused me stress. It was stressful to know, my dad wasn't around because we were so tight growing up, and, he was the one person I could talk to and confide in over my mom because she was constantly working. But I didn't understand. Gina got to work because Gina got to keep the money in the house, whereas Robert Brown, he just chilling. So it was a little different, but we had the best child you can imagine as far as not knowing what was really going on behind closed doors. So my dad lost his dad when he was 2 years old in a plane accident. Sometimes wonder if the trauma from that caused him to just be reckless in his life. He made terrible decisions. My mom was raised in the South, so she had no idea really the signs of what a drug addict looked like, or the dysfunction in the house. She just it was a mystery to her. She was oblivious. Despite the turmoil, I had a pretty normal childhood. I could say that. I wouldn't say I was the most popular person. I wasn't. Especially your childhood, when you in elementary school and middle school, and you're going through those hormonal changes. You ugly. So I wasn't cute. And then I had my overbite, and I hadn't got my braces and stuff yet. I don't think I really reached who I knew I was until high school. And that's when I just was I ain't gonna say wildin', but I had a good time. Well, now that I got you pretty acquainted with who I was as a child, I'm gonna bring it forward to my most recent birthday. My 28th was the shifter of my life. That's when everything changed. Someone that will remain nameless sent me to Jamaica for my 28th, and I had a ball. I was sick before, and I kind of feel like that sending me away was the way to make me feel better, because he had no idea what was going on, just as much as I didn't have any idea. And it was a great time, trust me. I enjoyed myself in Jamaica. I kind of got me away from what was really going on in my life, and with my symptoms, I was just out of whack, pretty much, to say the least. I was out of whack in Jamaica, but I was just enjoying the relaxation and the moments It wasn't until I got home that I was like, I'm gonna need to sit down, chill out, and figure out what's going on with myself. This November, when I was diagnosed, this is right now March. I was diagnosed after a series of crazy events that I didn't know were the reason that that I had MS. I found out because my hand went numb. My right hand, this whole hand went numb. I dropped a whole cup of whiskey on the couch and made a complete mess. I just started dropping things. I was really tired. I was like falling asleep like on the floor out of nowhere. And I just didn't feel like myself. It was like up and down moods, depression, and it was like no rhyme or reason to it. So I went to the doctor. Well, I went to the emergency room. And when I got there, they did an MRI, a full MRI of my spine and my brain. These are actual footage of my MRI. I'm no doctor, but I believe these are the lesions. They said I had a lot and that they were inflamed and pretty thick, which kind of alluded to the NMO. My symptoms weren't conducive to MS. So like right now, they have me in between MS and NMO. It's like MS on 10 on crack, basically. So they have me diagnosed with both. Since I'm in that rare 15% where all my tests came back, my blood test and my spinal tap came back negative. So there is no definitive diagnosis for me. So I'm being treated for both MS and NMO. So when I got to the hospital, they were like, we see multiple lesions, thick lesions down your spine. And of course I didn't know what that meant. Lesions are like as if somebody just took a knife and just slashed through your spine. And what happens is it is your autoimmune system basically fighting your body. It fights off like diseases and things like that, but in this case it's fighting off your body, so you're causing more damage to your body and your central nervous system. So I have multiple occasions where my body was fighting my immune system was fighting my body. I had so many that it was crazy that I didn't have more symptoms previous to. Back in 2016, I got an MRI done because I was having this weird feeling when I would turn my neck down. It'll be like a shaking vibration. It's called. But when I went to the MRI, they didn't see anything. So it was just like, okay, whatever. Let's move on with life. And I still was having those symptoms after that all the time, constantly. It just became a second nature in my life. So it was like, whatever. So when I did get diagnosed, finally, I had to stay in the hospital for 3 days on high-dose steroids and basically trying to walk around, get my movement back, my strength back. I got sent home, called the hospital to get in a follow-up appointment because I started to feel worse than I did. So at that point, my whole right arm went numb and weak, and I couldn't take care of my daughter. I couldn't do nothing for myself. It was just like I was just laying on the couch mostly, and that made me even more depressed. It was really like sad. So I called Johns Hopkins because I heard that they had an awesome neurology team, and they told me to come immediately to the emergency room to go get checked out because I had active lesions shown in my MRI that needed to be treated immediately. So after a long course of, diagnosing me, testing, and trying to figure it out, I'm here today. I've been put on treatments for both, like I said, MS and NMO. I'm on Ocrevus, which I'll go into deeper in another video. And I do infusions I get the medication through infusion, so I'm not one that has to take medication every day, but it's a high dosage medication that basically changes your whole life. So right now with the coronavirus and all these sicknesses going around, I am autoimmune compromised because of the treatment. So I'll explain that later. But with MS, people don't really know what it is or what it means. Multiple sclerosis is basically a autoimmune disease where your body is just fighting itself and you have no control over it. You don't even know what's happening. And it can cause permanent damage to your body. It can make you not be able to walk. A lot of people can't see, can't write, talk. It's a lot of things that your central nervous system controls that MS can cause problems to. Well, luckily I was fortunate enough to have everything come back for me. My only issue was my right side that caused issues. But now with the new life with MS is the biggest thing. You know, you wake up every day thinking, okay, it's a new day. Let's start over. Let's be productive. Let's move around. Let's do some things. Some days you can't. Some days you're sitting just flustered. Some days you're just depressed. You're just trying to figure out a way out. You have no control over your body, yourself. Your mind is just blank sometimes. Like you just really don't know what to think. You would think of something like 2 seconds ago and it's just gone. And I mean, you know, some people think it's stress and stuff like that. It's actually a symptom of MS. It's a cognitive disability, a part of MS. And sometimes you think you're typing something, you're not typing in a text message. That can get very frustrating because I send some crazy texts sometimes. When you just wake up like not feeling like yourself because you're not yourself, because your new self is different. Working out, I try to do the first thing in the morning. With working out now, you go to the gym, you ready, you pumped up, let's go, and your body starts to have spasms. Only a minute into my run. I gotta stop because my legs start to tremble and shake and cramp up and spasticity. I have to do this every time. Stop, then walk 3.5 until this trembling stops, and then I can go back to working out. It's a pain in the fucking ass. So my legs sometimes have moments where they're just ready to give out. They have moments where they're just like vibrating or hurting or cramping. It has no affiliation with anything that I'm feeling at the moment. It just comes. That's been the hardest thing. Some days you are ready to just start doing things and you're tired, you're exhausted. You do one thing and you're ready to just clock out. Some days I just sleep all day. Like you just find yourself not being able to move, not being able to go to work. So I work from home a lot now. Going to the grocery store is different now because I'm trying to change my diets. It's a lot of things that they say can cause inflammation. How true is this stuff? I don't know, but you be like, I'm not about to stop eating this, and this. I want this. So it's definitely different. I did appreciate my old life, and I appreciate it even more now. It's not over. I mean, it's just embracing things differently, like becoming one with everything around me and not just secluding myself to my new illness, my new diagnosis. I decided to take it upon myself to go get a tattoo to start a new life. It's a new chapter. So I got a butterfly to just symbolize, you know, lifting the weight up off my shoulders and embracing the transformation, basically. I'm not dead. I don't have stage 4 cancer. you know, it's still promising for me. It's not over. So hey, I'm gonna fight through it. I'm gonna get through it. I have my days, but we gonna continue fighting.